We are live. A couple minutes early. Yes, I got my grandson with me. We are waiting in the car. John went into class. We've been running around playing. There's a beautiful walking trail here. And so we've walked the trail. In fact, I have it in one of my videos that I did recently. There. And so this campus is absolutely gorgeous in the woods. And I love it. And I love coming up here. So I got a video coming out tomorrow on how to preserve peppers. So I'll show you that. Not only am I going to dry these, I believe, since we're getting the smoker out to do some smoking, I believe I'm going to smoke these. So instead of just drying them, air drying them, which I can do, and it works quite well, I am going to put them in the smoker, and then I'm going to make some smoky cayenne pepper. So, oh, we have 2 people in here, so I'm not just talking to myself. Nice. Please leave a comment so I know who you are. But yes, I'm going to take those peppers and put them in the smoker and make some smoky cayenne pepper. I might even make some seasoning salt, hot seasoning salt. So that'll be fun. Oh, we lost him already. That was quick. But we were just hanging out here and thought we would go live. I scheduled it last week because I did a quick pop-up last week and then he came out of class early. So I didn't get to talk very long. So I thought, well, I'll just start scheduling it when I'm waiting for him. We can just do these car talks. Of course, I didn't know then I was going to have my grandson, so he might be a little loud in the back seat. You know, we got a backseat driver back there, but we're parked, so we're all good. But yeah, anybody have any canning questions? Canning season is really here. Everybody's pulling everything out, harvesting. I don't know if you can tell, not very well behind me, but if you could see in front of me the trees, just the difference a week it makes. Last week the trees were entirely green. They're starting to get their fall colors. So winter is coming and we need to prepare. We need to have our gardens in and all of our stuff done up. And I'm excited to do some things with these cayenne peppers. I got quite a string. I bought these at the farmer's market. Oops, I had some farmer's market money to use up. I just lost one on the floor. I fell off. I'll have to restring it. I had some credit at the farmer's market I needed to use up. So I bought 2 pints of cayenne peppers. I did the hot honey last year, and I'll link that video in the comments below. Really liked that, where you cook them in honey. It loses its benefits. You can actually just also stick them in honey and preserve them in honey that way. But we made the hot honey, which was, cooking it with the peppers. We used, I think, some cayenne and some jalapenos to do 2 different kinds of hot honey last year. And so there we go. Captain Star Wars, Rebel Dave. Yes, it's finally cooler. We can start canning now. Although today is going to be the hottest day this week. It's supposed to get up to 75 here today. Yes, 1 jar meals. I love 1 jar meals. I mean, obviously there's the chili, but I also love soups. I love the burritos in a jar. If you have not tried those are completely rebel, but they are wonderful. And you can open them up, put them in a tortilla shell, or just open it up and eat it right out of the jar, which is what I do. I love meatloaf in a jar, which is a great one thing meal. Also rebel. I've got a few chicken dishes that I do. We've got macaroni and cheese. We do SpaghettiOs. My kid is on a ravioli kick. And I have not canned my own ravioli because he's, partial to that name brand, that we all loved as a child too. And so I'm hoping to try some and see if I can get some that he likes, because I buy a lot of ravioli for that boy. And so But thank you for coming in. It was just a spur of the moment thing. We decided that maybe on Wednesdays at this time I would go live every Wednesday for a while. I haven't been able to do the Fridays. Courtney or I have been busy, and so we haven't been doing the Friday live. So I thought maybe Wednesday, we'll do a lunch and learn. So my favorite thing, and it's not exactly a one jar meal per se. I do my soup starter, which is chicken, celery, onions, sometimes, not always, carrots. If there's other vegetables, I do it. Sort of like a chicken a la king or chicken pot pie filling. And then I make my homemade noodles. So I put my time into making the homemade noodles, get my soup starter out, put the homemade noodles in my soup starter, the chicken broth with all that good stuff. And in like 15 minutes, I've got a meal, especially if I've made a double batch of noodles and put some in the freezer. So, and the time it takes it to come to boiling and boil for 10-15 minutes, I've got a meal, which is great. I love fast food. I love homemade fast food. We were sick. We've all had like cold, sore throat. One of us got diagnosed with strep. Everybody else, they say, isn't strep, but I don't know if it goes through the house, it goes through everybody. And ear infections. And so I've been making my chicken soup, my homemade chicken noodle soup. Mama's medicine, as they say. Chicken noodle soup cures everything, right? We did go to the doctor, though. So, hey, Howie. Welcome. If you don't know Food Forest Permaculture, he is one of my mentors for my food forest. And I just asked him some advice. I got 4 chestnut trees, and you need to go check out Howie's channel if you want to know how to grow a lot of food in a small space. That man has so much to teach you. And I did take my chestnut trees. I didn't plant them like you told me, and I'm going to wait till they're bigger. And I've got them out, and I'm going to up pot them, and I'm not taking them out to the food forest. So he just gave me some advice. I got 4, same farmer's market. I did some bartering, and I bartered for 2 chestnut trees, and they gave me 4 hybrid chestnut trees. So I'm very excited to add those to my food forest. But Howie told me not to get excited yet. They're only about maybe a foot tall, maybe a little bit taller than my hand. He said to wait till they get a lot bigger before I put them in the food forest, or the deer will eat them. And I have a terrible problem at my property with deer. My garden 3 years ago, I had a doe come into the garden that's fenced in and have twin fawns and keep them there most of the summer, because why did she have to go anywhere? She had a smorgasbord. And of course, I enjoyed watching her, so I'm not going to kick her out. But I do have a deer pressure problem, and occasionally I have a lot of raccoons, and then I have rabbits. And I don't know if you see my video, my rabbit even got caught in the fence, and I let the poor little thing go. They're all like, "Why did you caught that wild rabbit? Why did you let him go?" Well, he needs to eat too, and he takes care of the things that I don't want in my food forest, and I try to fence him out of the things that I do. So I try to plant for me and for nature. One for me, one for them, one other one for them, and another one for them, so that I still get one for me. I don't know. Oh, but I'm very excited. I planted some things that I hope to get transplanted. So I have my St. John's elderberry, that pink champagne currant, my chestnuts, and I have some things that Courtney gave me. I don't know their names right off the bat, but those things waiting to get transplanted. So I have a little nursery area, and I did a video with my update this week that shows my little nursery area for my food forest. So that's kind of fun. I'm a lazy gardener, so that's why I love my food forest. I can grow things in layers, and I can plant it once, and hopefully it'll be there for my grandchildren to enjoy too. Hopefully. Some things like these chestnut trees might take a little longer. Might be their kids that are enjoying it. But and my black walnuts will definitely be my great grandchildren enjoying the black walnuts that I planted. But maybe the squirrels. We'll see. I did plant in preparation for these chestnuts. 3 or 4 years ago, I went to a place where I know they have a horse chestnut tree. Horse chestnuts are not edible for humans, but they are for animals. And I did a little guerrilla gardening. The property on 3 sides of me is vacant and not kept up, which I love. This is not a complaint at all. But I did throw some horse chestnuts across the fencing, across the property lines, and hopefully some of those will grow up and the squirrels will be more interested in the horse chestnuts and let me have my edible chestnuts. So I'm hoping to get those established and get the animals used to going after those plants a little bit farther away from my property and then leave mine away. Oh, Howie, I would never describe you as lazy. I'm a lazy gardener. I would not describe you as lazy. If you have not watched this video, he just went and cleaned out a spring and he gets his whole community involved in doing things like that. And I don't have that kind of community here. I wish I did. I wish we had a better community. I'm working really hard on building a better community, building people like the people that I bartered, traded, purchased chestnut trees from. It was a little bit of all 3. But I'm working on it. I have other friends that I barter things. I went out before I went to Courtney's and she gave me some plants and I took some, down, and I have another friend that she had some for sale and I went out and I bought it and she gave me twice as much as what I paid for, so I shared those. And yes, bartering is wonderful. I love to barter too. And I love to share. That's the wonderful thing about gardeners is if you can get into a gardening community, for the most part, they're wonderful people and they will share. They will share what they have. They will get you started. They will help you grow your garden. And hi, Bob. The Bob is here. Welcome, welcome. Gil. Hey, Gil is here. Wonderful. If you can get into the right gardening community locally, they will share plants with you. And then I've done some seed swapping. I haven't been able to pin him down and get him on here, but I have a really good friend. He is actually, I think he's out at the Mother Earth News Summit speaking right now, but he lives not far from here, and he has agreed to come on my show and talk about seed saving, and I haven't been able to pin him down to a good time. And I had to bribe him with sharing the location of my secret leek field. So, you can use your information and use your connections and build a community of wonderful people. There are so many wonderful people around here doing so many wonderful things, and I hope to share that with you. Oh, I have some food to show you, Bob. My lunch today, I don't know if you can see it. My leftover stir-fried rice is my lunch today. You know what would go good with this, Bob? Lumpia. Yeah, lumpia would go good with this. I love to pick on Bob. He loves to pick on me back. If you weren't here at the very beginning, I have a video coming out tomorrow on how to preserve cayenne peppers. It is not hard. I think, and I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again. I think that we're getting the smoker out. If we get the smoker out this week, I am going to smoke these cayenne peppers and make some seasoning. I love to make my own spices. Absolutely love to make my own spices. And I like to be independent and not go to the grocery store. And I use a lot of cayenne pepper and chili. I can a lot of chili, make my own chili seasoning. And cayenne is in that if you like it spicy. My kids love it spicy. Last year I did the hot honey with the cayenne peppers and the jalapeno peppers. This year I think I'm going to make um, some seasoning salt. So some smoked cayenne pepper salt and some smoked cayenne pepper powder and have that for my chili. So this is about 2 pints. I had some credit at the farmer's market I needed to use up. And so this is about 2 pints of cayenne peppers, and I bought them at the farmer's market. And they've been rolling around my car for over a week, starting to dry up, which is what I hoped for. It's very hot and dry in here. And so I finally sat here, did my video, strung them up, and I've got them ready. I can take that whole thing in and put it in the smoker if we get it up and going, or otherwise it'll stay in here in the car for a little while and dry out. It's really hard in Michigan. We have a lot of humidity. And so finding a nice dry place where bugs and critters and small children don't get into them is not easy. So I'm going to put those in here and let them hang, see if I can't get them to dry. Oh, I love when I get messages. Looks like my son's going to be a little late, so we might go a little longer. We'll talk until he gets here or I run out of things to say. And I've never run out of things to say before. So does anybody have any questions, though? I want to make sure that since we haven't been having our Q&As, that we have some question and answer time. And I'm at my son's campus, so if you hear beeping and things, there's maintenance vehicles. Last week I was going to do a live and the guy decided to mow right behind my car. And my son doesn't want people to know that I'm driving him, so I have to park in the other parking lot. So I'm actually in the nursing school parking lot while he's over in the other side behind these woods in the welding shop. So, but his car will be on the road very soon. He's bought it. He's bought a truck. I'm very proud of him. He's bought a truck with his own money, and he will have it to drive back and forth to school very shortly. So it won't need me very much longer. They grow up so fast. They're so little, and then boom, they're grown up. I'm in stealth mode. Oh, Shadow Salt Swede, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. It is not afternoon where you're at, though. I bet it's early morning or something. You're different. Your time or evening, something. Oh, but welcome, welcome. So yeah, I picked on Bob. Showed you my fried rice. I did a video on that fried rice. That is leftovers from last week. I've been trying to be very frugal and make my lunches and bring my lunches because I dropped my first son off before school at 8 o'clock. And then my second son has classes at either 10 or 11. And so we drop the one son off, drive to the other son's town where he has classes. So I'm doing a great big circle right now and doing a lot of stuff. And it's 5:20 p.m. over there. I knew it was, knew it was a big difference, but I couldn't remember how much. I love fried rice, Bob. I absolutely love fried rice. And it makes a great leftover lunch. I can just eat it in the car. I don't have to heat it up. So that's a nice thing too. So I've been trying to take my meals and stick them in the freezer and freeze them. And then 4 hours later, they're defrosted and ready for me to eat. And I'm trying to bring stuff for my son, but it's really hard because he just does, like, we're out, we should get fast food. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. We don't have the budget for that. We're going to take something from home. So grab a sandwich, get some peanut butter and jelly, or, Hooga Homestead. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming in too. And then we're bringing our own pop too from home. And so that has really helped our budget because gas is so expensive. And I'm doing $10 to $20 in gas every day. And that's really hurting the budget. I didn't have budget. I wasn't budgeted for that. That's really no fun. No fun at all. Oh, and today I have my grandson with me, but he got out and we were up here early because my oldest son had to be to school at 10. This is an 11 o'clock day, but we have an hour drive. So we drove up here. We got up here. Well, it wasn't quite an hour drive, half-hour drive. We got up here at 8:30, 8:45, and then we've just enjoyed the walk. Last week, I did the video on the new food forest foraging grounds, and we went out here on campus. He went with me. He wouldn't let me go by myself. He's so mean. There's a bear on campus, and all the signs are posted. Watch out, there's a bear up here, which is funny to me that they would post that because growing up, there's a very famous man from Michigan. His name is Spikehorn, and my dad was friends with him. He was friends with my grandfather. I actually, he passed away before, but I knew his son. And we used to, anytime we came up through here on this road, which was, fairly often, we'd have business up this way. My dad would call and stop and visit with Spikehorn's son. And Spikehorn is very famous for raising bears. So he had a roadside zoo here, close to campus, within spitting distance of campus. And he took in rescued bear cubs and raised them. And there are a ton of bears in this area for that reason. There already was a ton of bears. But why would there not be the thought that they would ever not know that there's a bear here or that they would have to warn people is kind of weird to me. There's thousands of acres of state land surrounding us. And so, of course, there's going to be bears where there's wild areas. I would hope there would be. It's nature. But anyway, back to the thing. My son was like, you can't go for this walk on this trail by yourself. I will go with you. And because I was going to stay in the car and do his computer. And I'm like, well, whatever. And so we went for a walk and I did that video of the new foraging ground. So if you see that, that is the walking trail here on campus. It's an old logging trail. So I'm very close to US 127. My grandfather actually helped build this section of US 127. And I don't know when it was built, but this school is right off of old 127, very close to where my dad was born and grew up. Probably 10 miles from here, maybe. So this is, our family's hometown, kind of. My dad left when he was 15. So yeah, country people are used to bears, and they're black bears. They're not going to eat you. They're not like you got the brown bears over there or grizzly bears in the West, that way. And those bears will eat you if you, make yourself look like food. Black bears have no interest in people. If you see a black bear, you're going to see the hind end of it running unless it's been fed, and like they say in the Smoky Mountains, a fed bear is a dead bear. Because no good will ever come from feeding a bear, except the bear will get put down. But they're scared of people. They're not, they're not friendly, like cuddly teddy bears. They're wild animals. You have to treat them like wild animals and be respectful, and I'm noisy. When I know that there's wildlife in the area, that I want the wildlife to know I'm here. If I'm out hunting, I can be very, very quiet in the woods. My dad taught me how to walk in the woods, Indian style. And if you don't know what that is, that means being aware of where you're placing your foot, making sure you're not putting your foot on any kind of branch that's going to crack. um, you walk with your feet in a line instead of walking like this. You walk with your feet like this so that you know where you're placing your feet and you don't make noise. But if you're out here on a trail like this where there's bears, you want to make a lot of noise. You want to talk to yourself. You want to whistle while you work, whistle a happy tune. And the most you will ever see is the hind end of the bear as it runs off. But I was out here, um, and I actually ran into blackberries. So I was kind of like looking around going, he might be out here looking for some last minute winter food. Bye, Howie. I'm glad your company's there. Have a good day. Sweden, you have brown bears, but you rarely see wolverines. We found, the state of Michigan, had a wolverine last year, which is funny that I say they had a wolverine, because we are the Wolverine state. That is what our nickname is, and our big ball team is. But there haven't been wolverines in Michigan in many, many years, and the fact that they actually saw one was quite. Yeah, wear a bear bell. Yes. You want them to know you're coming. You don't want to surprise them, especially in the spring when they have cubs. This is the fall. I really have no worries about being out walking in the fall, um, in this area where there's bears, because it's the fall. They're interested in food and, going to sleep soon. They're not interested in exerting energy to pick a fight with somebody. They don't have cubs to protect right now. They're, you know, it's not a thing. Yes, a small bell on your shoelaces. You do know the joke that the Appalachian Trail hikers um say that's just so that, then your bell is in the bear poop. Yeah. So the bears can find you better. But that's funny. But yeah, bear bell is a really good thing. Um Little jingles on your shoelaces. You know how like you used to put the little jingle bells on baby shoes? Yes, you can buy those still and put them on your shoes. Used to be parents put those on baby shoes, and it's fallen out of favor. But you used to put the jingle bells on the baby shoes, then you could hear where your baby was and if they were getting into trouble while you were trying to do things, cooking and cleaning. And you're like, wait, baby's coming from that direction over by the bathroom. Run, get him out. Run, get the baby out of the toilet because he's playing in the toilet water. Yeah, you know. So you used to put bells on your kids so you could find them in the house. Now, you know, they don't do that anymore. Of course, they barely put shoes on kids these days. We used to put those hard shoes on kids, and they say not to do that anymore. But anyway, so fun day. My Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are all spent running around. Monday and Friday, my oldest has a long weekend and doesn't have college, so I don't have to worry about driving him, just the smaller one. So, yes, they did TLC in the garden. Thank you for coming in. Yes, and those bells did help you. Some of them had those little clips because you could clip them on and then you'd keep your shoe tied. And I love that. They were like cylindrical and had a bell on each end. And my oldest had some like that. And then you clamped them over the shoe after you tied the knot where you tied it. And then they couldn't get their shoes untied. And you weren't tying shoes all day and bending over and bending over. Those were the good old days. I'll have to see if I can order some of those on Amazon. Oh, yes, that's what they say, Gil. You're right. If there are bells in the bear scat, it's a brown bear. If it has bells and smells like pepper spray, then it's a grizzly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't go into grizzly territory. Hi, Glenn. Howdy garden. Thank you for coming in. I don't go into grizzly territory and wander much. I would love to go hunting, like out in Montana or someplace like that someday. I'd love to go out there and go hunting. Um, I don't know if I've ever told the mule deer story. All right, I'll tell the mule deer story. So we have a lot of white-tailed deer here in Michigan, and I love white-tailed deer. It is tasty. I love venison. I have some venison cooking videos. I have one coming out in October in honor of deer season. I filmed it this summer, but I'm waiting kind of to go with the October bow hunting season theme. And I used to work at a hospital, and one of the surgeons went out west hunting, and he got a very large mule deer. And he had not used up the deer before it was time for him to go hunting again, and he wanted it out of his freezer. And somebody told him that I would be a good candidate to give it to me. And so he did. So thank you, Dr. B. Love you. Yes, I will keep my promise to you. So I went to his house, and he gave me 3 great big grocery sacks full of frozen meat, which was a huge blessing to our family. And my son was about 13, 14. My oldest son, Taylor. Yes, he's not listening, so I can name him by name. And I cooked the mule deer the same way I cooked my regular venison. And he got a hold of that, and he goes, "Oh, wow, this is really good. You finally learned how to cook venison." I looked at him, I said, "You owe me an apology. That was very rude. And I cook this the same way I cook everything else. This just happens to be mule deer. Mule deer is so much tastier. It is wonderful." And he was right. It was way better than my usual white-tailed venison. But that was the last day I ever cooked venison for him. The next time he wanted venison, I taught him to cook it himself. I was done. He done hurt Mama's feelings. And then he started to hunt shortly after that. And he called me. He's like, "Will you help me gut my deer?" And so for 3 years in a row, I went out and I taught him how to gut his deer. And he's now cleaning his own deer and taking care of his own deer when he hunts. But yeah, I was like, dude, that was rude. But mule deer is wonderful. So I'd love to go out where there's grizzlies and hunt. But that'd be the only reason I'd be out in the woods with a grizzly. They're a little meaner. But I love to go hiking in the Smoky Mountains and they have black bears. And the one year I went section hiking, we section hiked the same section of the trail where a guy had been mauled by a black bear. But that was the guy's fault. And the poor bear is dead because of it. But the guy lathered coconut oil on himself, and then the bear smelled the coconut oil, and he mauled on him a little bit. Tasted him and spit him back out because he realized, human doesn't taste good even with coconut oil. But unfortunately for the bear, you don't get one strike and then you're out. So everybody's saying hi to everybody. We've been live for 33 minutes and we've got 5 people in here. I just want to thank you all. I know this is not my usual day to be live, and it's certainly not my usual time. Yes, Bob, the dude was definitely, if you're slathering food, especially, oil on yourself, unfortunately, in bear country, that's just not smart. That's not a good idea. They tell you not even to wear scented deodorants for that reason. Nothing with a scent. But I just want to thank all of you for coming in. I have some exciting news. I am very close to 9,000 subscribers. I am so excited about that. They don't really tell you after you get to a certain point what things unlock things, but I did find out that at 10K, it unlocks another tier of things from YouTube, another set of benefits from YouTube. And so I really, really want to get to 10K. So now when I get to 9K, I'm going to announce a giveaway. And hopefully that'll help me grow rapidly to that 10K mark. So I'm hoping to get to 9K soon so then I can announce my 10K giveaway. So I'm very excited. Ooh, hi, just changed that boy, and I think he smells. Think he fell asleep and relaxed. Whew, I'm glad the windows are down in here. My. Oh. I don't think I'm very stealth right now. Oh. But yeah. So I'm not sure what all that's going to entail. Um, I have some things I've been saving to do a giveaway with. Um, but I got a couple things I've got to mail out yet that I've promised people, so I can't do anything else until I get those things mailed out. But I think with the money I make, I should get a payday. I didn't get one this month, but I should get a payday next month from YouTube. I finally made enough to get a payout. And so, yeah, everything's going to leave me alone with the smell in this car right now. So I've finally made enough. So then I'm going to do my mailers. I have to run to Canada and post some things that I kind of putting off till I had enough money to do it. So this next payout from YouTube should pay for my gas and my postage. It'll be a lot cheaper if I run the hour and 45 minutes to the border, cross the border, go to a post office there in Canada, and cross the border and come back. Like, literally, it'll take 3 hours out of my day, but it will probably save me several $100s in postage. So I am going to do that. And I have to run up to Canada anyway. I go up a couple times a year and do family history research and check on the cemetery where my great grandparents are buried. So yeah, that's luckily I'm not parked next to anybody. I kind of parked way out on the end, so that I could sit here and talk to myself and not look as crazy as it probably looks to people walking by, the nursing students and the whatever people that are walking into class right now. This is the main building right here. So, and then the nature center building's over there. And then I have not seen anybody having classes over there. So it must not be any fall classes for that here on this campus. Maybe they're doing that on their other campus right now. Or maybe they're all afraid to go for a walk with a bear. I don't know. So they're not out in the nature center part, but it's a really nice campus. It's a very nice college. I went here, I could not take all of the classes I needed at my school, and so it wasn't offered in the semester I had to take it in order to graduate on time from college. And so I actually took a class here. So there. So I actually have taken I took history from the school, but I took it at their satellite location. So yeah. Yeah. No, nothing is going to be attracted to this smell. Oh, as soon as I get off here in 20 minutes, I'll change him. But I'm going to let him finish up what he's doing, because obviously the first round didn't take, or maybe it's the diaper that smells. Maybe the wind has changed direction. That could be. Actually, it's probably what it is. The window's open on that side, and I think it's breeze is blowing in. Oh, but oh, okay. Oh, got to get back to his patio cover project. It's supposed to rain later. Okay, Gil. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know this isn't my regular day. It isn't my regular time. It's way early in the day. But I just wanted to go live, let everybody know I'm still alive, still kicking, still making videos. I've been pumping out the shorts, trying to get to the 9K and trying to make sure I have something posted every day to bring some traffic in. And I've been getting the views, but I haven't been getting the subscribers to go with them. So I need to get back to my roots and do more canning videos. I've done a lot of ASMR river videos. I've been doing a lot of walks. So I've been taking you along and videoing on my walks. And I've done a lot of foraging. Oh, here, I got another. I got another video coming out, like the trug. My granddaughter built that for me. It was a Home Depot project. But I am making an elderberry oxymel. So I have in here to do my video, I have got a jar of honey from our bees, vinegar, I've got some echinacea, I've got stick cinnamon. I can't see it right there. Stick cinnamon right there. And yeah, I got some elderberries in the freezer, and I want to make an elderberry oxymel. And so I keep bringing that with me, and then I forget to bring the elderberries. So I haven't got that video. That video is coming out. Have you guys enjoyed my apothecary series? I think it's been doing really well. I'm hoping to do some more with that. I've really enjoyed doing the foraging this summer, doing the apothecary series, and now that it's fall and canning, getting back to doing some canning, because I know that my channel's kind of, went in a few other directions this summer, but I like to I like to film what I'm doing and what I enjoy. So, and there will be a lot more steam tractors. I went to the steam tractor show and I became a member of the show committee. And so I'm going to be working on the show and being very much more involved next year in that steam tractor show. So I think that's pretty cool and, interesting. I don't know if I should, create a second channel. Because it's like I get viewers and then I lose them when I do all the cooking stuff. And I get them from the trains and the engines and stuff like that. And then I lose them when I do the cooking stuff. So, and then my cooking people are like, why are you doing a video about trains? So I don't know if I should split. What do you guys think? Maybe I'll do a poll. Save it for a poll. I'll do a poll and see if I should, because I've got a lot of content coming up again. So I would almost, I'm so busy though. I don't know if I want to do a second channel. I don't know. Ooh, I'm going to have to find a trash can. That's all I got to say on that. They need some trash cans around here. Oh. All right. Thanks, Bob. Bob says post up whatever I want. I just post what I'm interested in, and like September, I wanted to do more preparedness stuff because it's preparedness month, and I got a book and I'm like, okay, this is what our government says we should be, working on. I was going to do a series of videos based on what the government recommendations are. What the recommended government recommendations are, and then I didn't. But I thought this was pretty cool, and I think I might do a series based on this book. And this book came out. Gil's gone. He probably wrote it. Oh, it doesn't really say. Actually, it really doesn't say. But it has 32 pages and a whole bunch of ideas on what you should be doing. And I picked it up at my local thing, Yes, preparing makes my mind at ease. And I'm really, actually, I'm at the point where I've done it so much now that I am at ease. Like, I'm from Michigan, and the home of the United Auto Workers, and there is talk of a strike. And so I know a lot of people that are going to be out of the job if this strike goes through. You don't necessarily just have to prepare for natural disaster. Sometimes it's a man-made disaster in your life that might be a temporary bump that helps you in the long run. But in the short run, if you're not working for 3 months, that hurts. That hurts, and I've been there with layoffs and strikes and, family emergency kind of stuff. And so I'm try to always be 2 years ahead on my food pantry. And I have a well stocked, because of my medical background, I have a well stocked um, first aid kit. But I could teach people those things because I do it and I've done it for so long. But you know, there are so many things in our world right now that's scary. If you're not prepared for them, if you haven't taken a few minutes to look at what you have and take an inventory and see where your weaknesses are. I mean, I know I'm good with food and I'm good with first aid. Um, but here's family communication. If we don't have our cell phones, are we going to be good at communicating? So there's some things in here that even I need reminded, you know. Um, for your animals, I do have a first aid kit for each of my animals. So not only do I have a first aid kit for myself, but I have a first aid kit for my cat. And when I had rabbits, I had a first aid kit for my rabbits. Um, the rabbit you see in my videos is one I babysit. I babysit my 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 cousin. It is their rabbit, and they generously let me take all the rabbit poop I want if I will rabbit sit when they go on vacation. And so the little black bunny you see in my videos, he's sort of mine, but I don't have to watch him every day, which is kind of nice. He provides for my garden quite well, and I love him to death, and I'm very happy to go over and feed and water him when they go on vacation, or when I'm watching their kids to remind their kids to feed and water the bunny. And he loves it when I come over because I give him treats. But when I had rabbits at my house, I had 6 to 10 of them, and I had a first aid kit for them. So there's lots of things, I think. Yeah, and I think this would be good. I might not come out with it this year. It might come out next year. But, there are so many people in my circle that I listen to and I watch. Bob, Swede, Gil, that always are reminding me of things I need to do as far as emergency preparedness. So if you have not seen their videos, you need to go check them out. Oh my goodness, it's Gear. I have not seen you in so long. Yes, rabbit Cocoa Puffs for the garden are the best. I love spreading that stuff on my garden. And I make sure I have a little tarp underneath the cage. If I'm going to be there for a couple days, if they're going to be gone for a long weekend, I put a tarp under the cage and I always take them. And I've dug it out. We've moved the cage and I've dug it out. We actually, at their house, put a flower bed where the rabbit was last couple of years. And in that flower bed, this is not my flower bed. This is their flower bed. I have Egyptian walking onions. I have echinacea. I have potato onions that I put in their flower bed. The ground cover is strawberries, and I am seed saving some asparagus, and I am going to gorilla plant some asparagus in that flower bed. And then in between those plants, they put in flowers. And so, that's another way, you can always have edible landscaping. And, when I take things like that and I share them, we talked about gardener sharing, my little Holly, she wanted strawberry bed. And so I went and got strawberry plants and we got her a strawberry bed. And now it has expanded into 3 great big beds of perennial edibles at her house. And so it's really nice, to see the kids getting involved. Yeah, shipping lanes are scary, especially when certain large canal that we depend on for most of our shipping is getting blocked frequently with boating accidents. Did I say that? Oops. Yeah. Yeah. Bushcraft family, hello. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, we all need to be reminded because there's areas we get complacent and we don't think, oh yeah, I need that, or Oh, I ran out of that. I mean, the area I was the weakest on in my food supplies was um my dehydrated foods. And so I am getting a lot of those tin can 25 number 25 tin cans. Number 10, number 10s. Hey baby. Hang on guys. I'm gonna get him his bottle. He needs a refill. Just a second. Hey, you dropped it. Do you want that? You took a nap. You woke up. Do you want this? Do you want this or you want that? You want that? No? You gotta do that. No? What do you want? You want that? Here. You got enough? All right. When you're ready, I got more. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. And that's a scary when you live on an island and you're dependent for a lot of fresh supplies to come in. That's scary. If I was over in that side of the country on the west coast, or islands, I would be more worried. Um, yeah, Bob makes a good point in the chat. But my weakest point was the dehydrated foods. So I'm really trying to save for a large freeze dryer. That is my next purchase goal, is to be able to get a freeze dryer, because I have so many things I could put in there. I mean, I could keep that thing going 24/7. I've burned up 3 dehydrators in the last 10 years. So a large freeze dryer or 2 medium, my goal would be 2 medium freeze dryers. From talking to people that use them, that would be my goal. I have the hiccups so bad. Dr. Pepper did not sponsor this video, but they are my favorite. But a freeze dryer, there's so many things I could do. And then you have 25-year storage. You put them in Mylar, or I've talked with a certain large company about getting a can sealer. And hopefully, if I got a freeze dryer, I could get a can sealer and do some canning with the can sealer as far as the dehydrated foods. Seal them. Because like the ones I'm buying, there's a lot of air in those cans. A lot of air. Yes, Dr. Pepper's so good. I agree, sweet. Soda is bad. Gear soda is very bad. And I am down to 1 a day. Okay, I'm lying. I'm down to 2. But I did get a circle, which is the water bottle that you can put a flavor thing in. And I'm really drinking more water. In fact, I stopped putting the flavor packets in. I've been drinking just the water, or putting like a flavoring packet in and not using the filter for it. I do like the circle for that. It's the Marshmallow Man. Dehydrated food, if you freeze dry it and pack it in number 10 cans, is 25 years. At least 25 years. That's what they say it's good for, without losing the nutritional value. 25 years. So dehydrated food that's just regularly dehydrated and packed in Mylar is 10 to 15, which is still a little bit longer than what I want to keep my canned food. And the beauty, if I live in Michigan, I'm only 7 miles from a fresh water source that's safe for drinking. I can boil water and have it to drink in 7 miles at the most, like in any direction from me right now. 360 degrees. If I picked one direction, within 7 miles, I would hit water. So I'm not worried about storing water to rehydrate my food. which is a blessing for where I live. Not everybody has that. But so you have to think about that too. How are you going to rehydrate that so that it's safe to eat and drink? Water with lemon juice is very good. I do that too. And I like stevia. If I'm going to sweeten it, I sweeten it with stevia and not sugar. Or um, I have a lot of honey. So I I lost my bees again, but I belong to a 4-H club that keeps bees. And I do a lot of work with the bees and a lot of work with other people's bees. And so when I work with other people's bees, I often get gifted honey. So I never have to worry about sweetener. So I have honey. Um, a gallon of water. Good job, Gear. That is awesome. I don't think I drink that much. I drink 2 of these, and this is my second one today already. So I might wind up with, I might go get a fountain pop. But I drink 2 of those, and then I drink water or coffee. And I drink coffee in the morning and then pop. And then that's the reason I'm on my second one, is I didn't get a cup of coffee today. Yes, stevia is much better. And I've learned to grow it. It's not easy to grow, but I have grown it. I can't grow enough. You're happy now. I can't grow enough to meet my demands yet. So, that's something that it's a lot. But it does, the powdered stevia you buy from the store does keep, they say 30 years. So he has a lot to say too today. So, if you can keep the stevia that long, then why not use the stevia? And I actually don't mind it in baking, but I have to make sure that I get the stevia that is just the plain stevia. It's not mixed with aspartame, which is totally artificial, and it messes with my system in ways that we don't want to talk about, because I think we've already talked about poop on this video once today. Oh. They die out or fly off. I guess I missed what that was about. But yeah, that's about it. Does anybody have any questions? I want to make sure that if anybody comes in and they have any canning questions or food preservation questions, that on these Wednesdays, and I'll probably be doing this through till December, where I'll go Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, here comes people out. Sorry. Yes, the powdered stevia from the store, if it doesn't have the aspartame, is supposed to be good for 30 years. If you can keep it dry and sealed. So that's pretty good. Honey, of course, is for much longer than that. So honey keeps a lot longer. So anyway, got things poking up there, but yeah, I just learned that. I didn't know that either. I just actually learned that this week. That is something I just learned, because I want to make sure that the things I'm putting on my shelf are going to be there for the long term. Right now, I'm working on my long-term pantry. I'm very comfortable with my short-term 2-year pantry. So now I'm working on building a bigger pantry for the longer term. So it took me a while. Although I was very embarrassed. I have to say this, Becca, if you're listening, sorry, I'm ratting you out. Becca and I, we had like 50 pounds of rice in the basement, because that's about the number that, want to keep. We should have a lot more for our size family, but that's what we have space for. And so I knew we had about 50 pounds of rice. We weren't watching. And we kept sending the boys down to get stuff, like stir fry or whatever. And I actually had to go out and buy 25 pounds of rice the other day, because we were just about out of rice. And I'll probably, next time I go to the big lot store, the club, I'm going to pick up another 25-pound bag of rice because we were just about out, which just floors me. I can't believe that we ran out. Like, really? Really? Um, so yeah, embarrassing. And see, you can do it even if you've been doing this your whole life. And like my parents lived through the Depression, so I was always taught to keep certain amounts of certain foods on hand and never run lower than this amount. And it can happen, you know. That's why we need to lean on each other and be reminded and take an inventory. I think the most important thing you can do for your pantry is to take an inventory and, you know, check things in the spring and in the fall to make sure that they haven't spoiled, that they're still good. You know, you got enough to make it through winter. You know, you've got 3 months. Make sure you have 3 months to make it through winter of certain items. You know, flour, sugar, salt, yeast, oil. Make sure you have 3 months worth of supply that you can make it through winter. That if you couldn't get to the grocery store for whatever reason, you're snowed in or, you know, whatever, that you have those things on hand. You know, don't be we joke here in Michigan, you know, don't be the person going out for a bread and milk sandwich because you heard there's a snowstorm coming. It's like, don't run to the grocery store because there's a snowstorm. You should always have, you know, things on hand. And what do people do with just bread and milk anyway? It's like, why, you know, I don't get it, you know. I don't get it. I never have. And it's a joke in Michigan that people go to the store for bread and milk sandwiches when they hear an ice storm is coming, you know. So, like, that'll get them by. You know, your power goes out. What's the first thing that goes out? Your refrigerator. And the milk you just bought is going to go bad first. But whatever, people. It's like the funny thing that Michiganders do, you know. But I have been on here for an hour now. I know he said he was going to be a little bit later today. It wasn't going to get done in quite an hour. He actually has 4 hours blocked for his class, and the teacher usually lets them out after an hour and expects them to go online and do stuff on the computer themselves. Not like when I was in school. Not at all. Cheetos, talk about Cheetos. You know, I have not figured out how to make those myself. It's one of those things, like, you know, everybody likes them, but I can't make them. And there's an extrusion, I can't say the word, extruded. They're extruded through a machine before they're puffed and baked or something. And I can't make Cheetos. You know, a lot of things I can make for myself, but, you know, Cheetos I would miss if there was a SHFT situation. I would really miss Cheetos. Lots of, yeah, that's it. They're making French toast, but they don't get eggs. I don't know. French toast, yeah. It is early. It is early. You just got here, Gear. That's why. You know. But I will be, just to let everybody know, I will be doing this 11 to 12 slot on Wednesdays, as long as I'm driving my son back and forth. I will try to do this 11 to 12 time slot for a while and see how it works out. Even if there's just me talking to the camera, at least then I get a video up. So I want to thank all 6 of you who are still in here, but I think the little guy is tired of sitting. He wants to get out and run around before John comes out and we have to drive. And I want to check his bottom. And even though I changed him right before we went live and put him down for a little nap, this is his nap time, so I thought he'd probably take a nap. So I am going to get off of here now. But I love you all and thank you for coming in. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you on, well, at least on Shadow Salt Swedes live on Saturday. So check him out on Saturday and I will see you there, if not before. Thank you all. Bye.